What's up, wrestling fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast of the Multiverse Musings Podcast Network. Here with a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection figure of Drew McIntyre. So I'd like to point out that in the description below, you'll find a link to the Multiverse Musings Vidcast. This will be the episode where we covered last year's Wrestlemania. Give us a watch, give us a like, and hopefully, if you like our content, you can subscribe to that channel. We would certainly appreciate it. And now let's take a closer look at the details of this figure. On the front bottom, it says Drew McIntyre Elite Collection. There's the certified authentic hologram with the serial number and a nice studio shot of Drew McIntyre. On this side, we get a shot of Drew McIntyre from a WWE event. On this side, we get a close-up shot. On the back, we get headshots of the other figures available in this wave. And on the back, we get a brief bio of Drew McIntyre with some career highlights. If you'd like to read that, go ahead and pause the video and do so now. But I think it's time to bust this figure out of the package and see what's inside. The figure comes with a piece of cardboard that features a nice arena shot that you could use for a diorama. Here's the figure removed from the outer carding, but still in the inner plastic. And here we see the Scottish Warrior out of the package and ready to rumble. There is a great deal to like about this figure, and I think that for Drew McIntyre fans, if they decide to add this to their collections, they will be very happy with their purchase. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the details of the loose figure now. Let's have a closer look at accessories here. And the figure comes with gripping hands, and these are the alternate open hands. And of course, they come with the peg back here, and that does feature this hinge, so that gives you posing options. And of course, here is the WWE title that Drew McIntyre won from Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 2 years ago. And this is just really well done. I mean, I like how shiny this is. It really does look like gold. I like how segmented it is. You know, the strap looks really good. The WWE logo is very clear there. And it seems like little jewels that have been placed within the center plate. Of course, there's the WWE logo too. Here's a quick look at the back. Accessories like this have certainly come a long way since I was collecting things like the LJN line back when I was a kid. So I certainly appreciate that. So let's have a look at the lower body here. And this is a good sturdy figure. I noticed that as soon as I took it out of the package. Lots of good detail on the boots. See all these wrinkles that have been sculpted in, as well as these individual laces. Certainly good detail there. Here's a look at the articulation, the hinges at the ankles. And you do get a little bit of pivoting, to help you make the figure even more sturdy on its feet. So that's a positive for this figure. Good detail on the calves back here. Now, these knee pads are individual pieces, so they move up and down. And if you're trying to articulate the knee joint here, that's this peg here, this peg joint here, it helps that you can move this knee pad. So I appreciate that. One of the things that I noticed immediately about this figure in the package is that these quadriceps are done extremely well. Drew McIntyre has these enormous sculpted quadriceps, and you can see that here rendered very well. Just look at all the detail on those. So you also get this upper thigh swivel here. Good articulation out to the side. And of course, if you're a Drew McIntyre fan, you may want to put him in the Claymore. And you can certainly get a good Claymore pose with this figure. So that is really good articulation on that. Of course, you can get movement out of the foot. So if you want to, set up a diorama and have him do the Claymore, you certainly have that option with this figure. Let's have a look at the trunks and lower torso. You can see really good paint application on the trunks. That's very nice and clean. Same for the logo back here. Not a huge area to work with, but that looks really good. Nice and tight as far as, you know, the paint and the design itself. You can actually read the word McIntyre. So I appreciate that. You do get this swiveling here with the lower torso. And so that's certainly a positive for this figure. Let's have a look at the rest of the torso here. And I think Mattel's done an outstanding job. See all this sculpting here with the individual muscles, with the pectorals and the abdominals here. See the obliques. Certainly looks good. Now the chest hair, I know collectors have lots of feelings on chest hair about how it's done, because if it's done poorly, it can be, it can look just awful. It can be an eyesore. I think they did a good job here of rendering it with the paint without any sculpting, so I like that. Good articulation here. I like the fact that there's not a lot of separation around this joint here. Same for the back. When you articulate it forward, not a huge gap. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't detract in any way. So that's something that I certainly appreciate. To have a look underneath here. Yeah, again, good sculpting all the way around on the torso. Let's have a look at the arms here. Good movement at the wrists. You have that hinge there. It goes all the way around. Same with the alternate hands. I like the wrist straps here. They're done well. Peg joint at the elbows. Lots of good sculpting for the forearms, as well as the rest of the arm here, around the biceps and triceps. You get the bicep swivel. So that's certainly welcomed for, you know, the elite figures. I like the way that Mattel does that. Good articulation with the shoulders here. Get to go out that far. 360 degrees of rotation. So the arms, definitely a positive for this figure. Let's have a look at the head sculpt here, and I think it's done very well. It might not be perfect, but you can certainly tell it's Drew McIntyre. The beard looks good. I think the eyes and the nose are accurate. Maybe could have used a little bit more sculpting around the face, but that's just a very minor complaint. The hair is pretty pliable, I must say. So that's good if you are articulating the head. Now mine, I think, is probably a little tighter than the figure is supposed to be. I don't know if that's with every one, but it's certainly tight. So that doesn't bother me too much. I don't do a lot of dynamic articulating. But yeah, I think the head sculpt looks good. See the individual strands of hair, and it looks kind of wet the way that he often has it. So I think Drew McIntyre fans will certainly be happy with the way that the head looks. I certainly hope you have enjoyed this review. If so, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned at the end of the video for some articulation shots. And also remember to follow the link in the description below to the Multiverse Musings Vidcast's coverage of last year's Wrestlemania. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to our channel there as well. And I'll be back to the internet with more pro wrestling related content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Herbal Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.